What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how are we doing on this fantastic Monday?
It is kind of a Monday, Pat. I could be doing a little bit better. Had, not gonna lie, a little too much to drink last night. I was chilling around the TV with my boys, watching some football, watching some rain delay baseball. Judge is still at 60, but the Yankees are winning. Dude, I'm kind of chilling, I'm a little nauseous right now, not gonna lie. But in the end, I'm here with my dog, Pat. I'm here with a beautiful audience we have here at the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. I'm chilling, man. How you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm straight chilling. I think also because I feel like we mention this every episode now, but the weather, man. I woke up the other day and I walked outside and I smelled like postseason baseball. And I feel like we're getting to the point where September is kind of a weird month, right? I feel like
It's gotten
one
chilly
day
quick,
it's
yeah.
hot, one day it's cold. However, I think we're getting to the month of October now, where I view October as the best month weather-wise because it's kind of like straight fall. I mean, you'll have your occasional hot days, but I think for the most part, it's like overload with fall. So
I
I'm
think
good, Dan.
October is the best period, man. I mean,
I agree.
I gotta say, dude, one reason being my mom made a big pot of chili yesterday, and you can't make chili in the summertime. What are you
No,
making that
that's
face for,
disgusting, bro.
dog?
Chili's
Oh, you better
disgusting.
watch your mouth. Mrs. Rourke's
I'd
chili is
try your mom's
goddamn good.
chili.
Yeah, I
I
was gonna
would,
say, but
but
just the
that's
vibe. You can't
gross.
make big pot of chili in the freaking dog days, brutal heat of summer. Nice crisp fall afternoon. Put a pot of chili. You got your pumpkin candle that's burning my goddamn hand off. Dude, we're chilling. What's topic one, anyways?
Now let's get right into it. Listen, our boy who loves chili, Aaron Judge. He's stuck at home run number 60. That is now 6 straight games without a home run for big Aaron Judge. Listen, now the Yankees are heading on to on the road to Toronto, whole different country. Did you know that Toronto is in Canada? A lot of people
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
I did
Yeah,
know that. I actually
yeah,
thought about going once, but I heard it's like really nothing all that special. Not a diss on Canada, but more so just
that's
it's
a
very similar to
huge
the
diss.
US. No, it's just you're I heard you're pretty much just going to the US, but they speak a tad differently.
Well, Dan, I mean not Dan's there.
It's like a Canada
Aaron Judge
person
is
going
there.
to US. It's kind of like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Go on.
Well, Judge is now in Canada, looking for home run number 61 and 62. Might get both in Canada. I don't know. So now can we go on the record of saying that Aaron Judge is starting to feel the pressure? Like I said, 6 straight games, no home run. Is the pressure and all of the hype starting to get to his head?
Yeah, I mean, I saw somebody the other day say, "Oh, he's starting to crack and fold under the pressure." No, I wouldn't put it that way. But yeah, I mean, how would you perform when everybody, whether it's the atmosphere of the stadium, just everybody in the ballpark and across the globe, is focusing on your at bats every single pitch? That's got to be a lot of pressure, man. And this is kind of the first time we've really seen him, if you want to say, fold in the pressure or whatever, because he handles it so well typically. And what he's all about is helping the team win. And while his homers, of course, help the team win by scoring, it is probably the most he's ever been chasing like an individual achievement. Most definitely, and that's only because he got to get this out of the way. We've seen it before. We've seen A-Rod, I think from Homer 599 to 600 was about like a 12-day gap. We've heard Jeter talk about the pressure, especially want to get it done at home. So I think him being in Toronto could be a good thing. My ideal scenario is, dude, Ty Maris hit 61 in Toronto, just
Yeah.
one homer in 3 games. You return to Yankee Stadium right away after that. And then we've been saying it, bro. I mean, the big homer is more so 62. 61 would have been cool to see at home. But, dude, get that out of the way so you can ease the pressure a little bit. And understand you still got 10 games left. Like, Judge, you're going to hit 2 home runs. Like, no need to stress about that. So, yeah, get 61 out of the way, come back home and hit 62. You'll be chilling.
Yeah, no, I agree 1,000%. And I think it's unreasonable to think that he's not feeling the pressure right now. I think
Yeah.
it would be
And there's nothing wrong
impossible
with
for
that.
someone not to be feeling it. And yeah, no, it's not a knock at all. I think it's just human nature, right? It's like when he comes up to bat, it's a spectacle. Like Aaron Judge has become a spectacle, and he's been one all season. However, it's kind of like there's a magnifying glass on him right now, and I think that probably going on the road and heading to Toronto might be the best possible thing for him right now. Go up there, like you said, get the 1-time errors, come back home next weekend against the Orioles, who are going to be playing for absolutely nothing at that point, and break the record. Like, I think it's as simple as that.
Hey,
So,
not necessarily. Give the O some love, man. I mean, they're still kind of in a playoff race because the Mariners are
no,
falling
no,
off. I
no.
think they're
I'm
like
saying
2 games back.
mathematically, they're going to be eliminated. Like, that's the way I'm looking at it.
I wouldn't
Probably.
say that, but I mean, they're probably not going to make it. Hey, I'll say this though about Judge. It reminds me almost of hearing Jeter talk about, I think his last game at Yankee Stadium. Like when you're so team first and team oriented, when the moment is individual on you, it can become uncomfortable because A,
Yeah.
you're not used to that. And two, it's just kind of not what you're about on a player, whether you're talking about Derek Jeter or Aaron Judge. So I almost feel kind of bad for him in a little way, especially because he has come kind of close. Like, if only he just did it. If he hit that first homer against that would have been the walk-off homer that we all thought was gone to center field in
Yeah.
game one, there's a good chance he probably would have hit 2 homers since then. And hitting home runs also tough as shit, man. Just because he makes it look easy doesn't mean it's all that
Bro,
easy.
isn't it crazy that like people like boo when like he hits a double now? Like it's
I think
insane.
that's
Like
I
it's
think
like
that's
homer or
hilarious.
bust.
Do you
It's
believe
homer
that
or
Alex
bust.
Cora said the other day that because Judge would have been on deck in the bottom of the ninth, and they were saying when the Yankees had the lead, they're like, "Oh, Yankee fans were cheering, let's go Red Sox." So they wanted them to score and tie up the game. Do you
No,
believe that?
dude, is it bad that I kind of wanted to see the Red Sox tie it? Like, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to see it just to see Judge come up because I'm in the mentality at this point in the season. The division is locked
I
up.
hear
Like,
that.
I know mathematically it might not be. So I don't really like care if the Yankees win or not at this point. I care more so about Aaron Judge doing his thing. I care much more about Aaron Judge hitting 62 home runs than I do the Yankees winning. That's just me.
I can respect that, and I wouldn't argue that. I disagree only because, like, I look at the state of the bullpen right now, and I forget who was pitching in that game.
I
But
think Efros.
was it Efros? So, like, all right, that would have been his first game back from the IL. Seeing him blow a game, that to
No, I get
me
it. I
is
get it.
more important. Like this current state of the bullpen, how we're looking going into October, rather than a record Judge is going to break no matter what. Now, if we were like, say, this is like that was game like 159, game 160, I probably would align a little bit more with you and the rest of people root for that. Can't argue with it, but I don't
You
think
know,
I wouldn't go
we're
that far.
feeling either way. Frankie Montas continues to look as potentially one of the Yankees' worst trades in recent memory. Now, especially since the Yankees might not even expect him to be back for the playoffs. He probably won't make a playoff start just because he won't be built up enough in time. And we don't even know really like the status of what his injury is going to be like at that point anyway. If I had to put money on it, I don't think we see Frankie Montas in the postseason at all. Maybe out of the bullpen if we're lucky, but that's just me. Would we say that it's too early to rule the Frankie Montas trade as a certified L? Personally, the way I'm viewing it right now is it's worse than the Sonny Gray trade, just because at least when the Yankees got Sonny Gray, he was solid for that season where they got him.
He
Now
was.
we haven't even gotten that from Frankie Montas in the season we acquired him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You mentioned how maybe we can see him hopefully out of the bullpen. I don't even know if I want that. At this point, I'm
Yeah.
almost like, all right, dude, take the rest of the year off, start fresh for next year. And that's the only reason why I'll say no. I'd say it's a little too early to say it's an L because of the fact we have him under control for next season. And you mentioned Sonny Gray. Yeah, people forget that first year he was with us. Like I think he had 12 starts after deadline. He was pretty solid. And then you also had the famous ALCS game 4 against Houston, where Gary had the double and the Judge double off the wall to come back. Gray pitched really well in that game. Had 5 scoreless innings, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, yeah, as of right now, Sonny's definitely winning the better post deadline deal, but not too early to say it's a failure. But as of right now, I don't really want to see Frankie Montas at all come to playoffs for this year.
But
Obviously,
I think that's really fair. Just because even when he was healthy and he was making starts, it was one of those situations where I used to forget about Frankie Montas. You know what I mean? And I talked about this all the time. I'm like, I forgot sometimes that the Yankees acquired him at the deadline just because he was kind of just there. You know what I mean? Like I can't really remember like a moment from Montas once the Yankees acquired him where he was like a spark, like he gave us a sparkling moment. No, he would kind of just show up, give us 5 innings, give up 4 to 5 earned runs, and that was that.
I hear you. I don't think he was necessarily just there, but he definitely didn't have any noticeable that's his moment starts. And I'll say, man, it's not going to be too hard to miss him or too easy to miss him. Whatever fucking phrases, Jesus Christ. Our pitching staff is pretty well set up. I understand the bullpen has been shaky lately, but there's enough talent there. And there's also quite a surplus of arms. And you look at the starting rotation, if Domingo Germán's going to get a star, even James Santaillon, who's been really pitching well lately. So the fact that we don't necessarily need him, I think we'll be able to get by without him. And I'm not really concerned about it.
Yeah. No, I agree 1,000%. I mean, you look at Severino coming back, right? You look at Germán and Tyone both performing well. I think that sets the Yankees up pretty nicely to not necessarily need Frankie Montas as much as they did
And I
before
also
the deadline.
wonder
So
how well would his stuff translate out of the bullpen? You know what I'm saying? It could, for all I know. I'm not a pitching coach, but just for my eye test, being a dumbass 22-year-old fan watching at home, I don't necessarily see that being his stuff being something that could translate that great out of the pen. So I mean, at this rate, like I
yeah,
said, dude, just take the postseason off, root for the team, and see you next spring.
yeah. Listen, Dan, injuries, injuries, injuries. You know who else is injured? Matt Carpenter. Matt
Not for
Carpenter's been
long.
on the IL for a hot second now. However, we heard some news on Sunday that he could potentially return for the Yankees' final regular season series in Texas against the Rangers. What would this mean for the Yankees lineup for their defensive positioning going into the postseason? Because the way I'm looking at it is like, yeah, like I view Matt Carpenter as like all of the Yankees injured right now. He's the key. Like he's the biggest X factor in my opinion, even more so than Andrew Benintendi. However, when I look at Matt Carpenter coming back, it makes me think a little bit like where that leaves the Yankees' defensive positioning. Only because I don't think Carpenter's going to come back and play the field. Stanton hasn't really played the outfield too much since coming back. So it's like, how do you configure that DH slot then?
Yeah, no, it's real interesting. And I've been saying for a while now that the Yankees come playoffs, like what would you be saving Stanton for? Like, why would you be DHing him? All guards should be off at that point. But chances are I feel like they probably would have him be in the lineup every day as a DH. So I think Carpenter, you kind of just bring him back for, and him coming back is huge. Don't get me wrong, but probably just as maybe a pinch hitter off the bench, just like the mere threat of Matt Carpenter. You also got to wonder, like, what are you getting back? How good is he going to be coming off the injury? We haven't really heard from him yet, like how exactly he says he's doing. But dude, it was kind of a shock. I mean, I thought, hopefully by the October 11th ALDS game one, maybe he'd be good to go by then. Now we're hearing, I think it was Brian Cashman that said it too, that yeah, he could be back for the last series. So that's definitely promising. But yeah, man, I mean, we'll get into another guy that kind of makes the fold interesting. But the Yankees really do have some roster decisions to make. Now, without a doubt, if he's healthy, he'll be on the roster. And I'm sure he'll probably start some games here or there. But it is kind of a question, how would he get into a starting lineup? Because yeah, you would have to either play Stanton in the field or Carpenter in the field, which at this rate, I would say it's probably more likely they put Giancarlo out there. But they're gonna have to figure something out. I mean, you also have Oswaldo Cabrera right now is raking, so he'll probably get a start in left. So that makes it interesting once, not that he would start over Benintendi, but like if you go on a little bit of a run and you have all these guys back, like there's going to be some interesting roster decisions to make. I mean, this isn't a topic today, but even on the pitching end of things, we just heard that, I know this might upset you a little bit, Aroldis Chapman could be DFA'd. Lucas Luque could be released by next week, which is nuts because these guys could also, on the flip side, play a crazy role in the postseason. So it'll definitely be interesting from like a transaction and roster point of view, like what they are going to do about all this. I mean, this is, a good problem to have, but as Michael Kay says, good problems to have are still problems. Something you got to figure out, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah. No, I agree. The Yankees definitely have like a bunch of decisions to make as far as their postseason roster goes. And going back to that Chapman thing for a second, that's probably one of the most ludicrous rumors I've kind of heard in recent memory, just because there's a good chance, especially if he doesn't like pick it up in the final week of the season or so, that Aroldis Chapman won't be on the Yankees playoff roster, just because like you can't really trust him. Like, what's the situation you're going to bring him in? Whatever. However, like there's no reason to be DFAing him. He's a free agent at the end of the season. What's the point? It's not like you're bringing a roster spot for someone else. Like, what would be the point in DFAing Aroldis Chapman? You just leave him off the postseason roster.
Well, I think in that case, what would happen is if you DFA him, that might be the spot for Carpenter, because right now Carp's on the 60-day DL or IL, which takes you off the 40. Once he comes off, you would need him put him back on the 40. Comes off the IL, you would need him put him back on the 40. So in that case, maybe
but I thought you only get taken off the 40 if it's a 60-day IL.
It was, and I'm pretty sure Carp is on the 60-day IL.
Carp is on the 60-day IL.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive. I'll check right now. Let me see. Is Matt Carpenter on?
Yeah, but I wouldn't. No. But here's my thing, right? Why would you DFA Chapman to free that spot other than like a Marwin Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, so Carpenter is on the 60-day. Gonzalez, though, they probably look at him from the standpoint of
Gonzalez won't be on the playoff roster, though.
I wouldn't be shocked, man.
Man, if Carpenter's going to be on the roster, I can guarantee you Marwin Gonzalez will not be.
I'd have to like really get into the roster crunch. But yeah, I mean, you might be right, because then you could also look at Oswaldo Cabrera for that factor. He is a better Marwin Gonzalez. He plays all the positions he does. He can play short, third, second, plays outfield just like Marwin does. Lefty. I know Marwin's a switch hitter, but yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting for sure.
Well, so is Cabrera. Oswaldo's a switch hitter.
He's a switch hitter. I always look at him as a lefty because I feel like he's so much better as a lefty. But yeah,
no, I could be wrong. But
I think you're right. You're right
like
about
90% sure he's a switch hitter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. We're speaking of injuries. This is an injury-filled episode. Dan, you're even injured. Flu game. Let's go.
I'm injured as hell. This is my flu game, bro. It really is. I appreciate you saying that, Pat.
But DJ LeMahieu, another Yankee infielder, you could say has been injured for a hot second now. However, he could be activated for this upcoming Blue Jay series. However, it's not set in stone. However, I guess we could say that he's going to be back soon. It's not like a Carpenter situation where it's like, oh, maybe he'll be back by the end of the season. Like, no, I think we're all but guaranteed DJ LeMahieu will,
He'll
in
be back.
fact, be back by the end of the season. However, Aaron Boone said that DJ won't be at 100% for the rest of the year, which is kind of a weird thing to say. I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, yo, even if he's not 100%, like maybe just say he is to make me feel better about the situation.
I guess. I don't think it really makes a difference.
However, looking at DJ coming back, I think I'm looking at him probably not as a leadoff guy. I think Judge is going to be at the leadoff spot.
Love
However,
Judge and leadoff. Been leading him off in
what
my MLB The Show franchise, by the way, because I love it
do
so
you
much.
actually? You still
Hell
play
yeah.
that?
Oh, all the time. I don't simulate a pitch. I play every single game, and I'm in like mid-July. I better be at the All-Star break. So I take this
Cool.
shit seriously, bro. Just saying.
Cool, man. However, are we going to say that DJ LeMahieu is a lock to be a starter for the playoffs, especially with Oswaldo doing his thing, especially with the Yankees infield kind of like doing their thing? Are we saying that DJ's still going to be a lock?
Dude, it's crazy because it all revolves around the DH slot. Is Stanton playing left field? And we don't got to get to that whole conversation again, but ultimately, I mean, with Donaldson playing well, that's a big factor because you figure, Glaber's playing second for sure with how good he's been playing. So DJ's only spot would be third. So it's either he's playing third or Donaldson's playing third. The other guy would get the DH slot. So yeah, it all comes back pretty much down to Giancarlo Stanton, or is DJ, how good does he look in the next week or so coming off the IL? I mean, he was unfortunately, one of the worst hitters in the league since the toe stuff. I think he had like a sub 500 OPS or something like that, like in a month worth of play in August. So it really depends. Yeah, which DJ are you getting back? I definitely think he'll be a factor of some sort, but I know it's interesting. People have also brought up, I mean, I know we're Yankee fans or what have you done for me lately, but seeing on Twitter all of a sudden, should the Yankees trade DJ LeMahieu in the offseason and have Oswaldo Cabrera replace his spot, at second or third base, or just being like a versatility guy. So it's crazy how fast things can change, in a couple months. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but as for this year, I am expecting the remainder of the way, yeah, like a hindered DJ LeMahieu, which as long as he's not like an incompetent hitter at the plate, that may not really be the end of the world because our offense is kind of back just a little bit. I mean, we're not setting the world on fire necessarily, but if you look at since I think September 5th, I believe we are a top 5 offense in the American League, which is really nice after the way we looked in August. So I think if that is the case where DJ's not 100%, or I mean, that's another question. Like, what does that mean? Does that mean he's going to be 90%? Is he 80%? Is he 60%? Who knows? But I think we'll be able to kind of absorb that blow better now than we would have maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking at DJ coming back, and I see it as a potentially huge return, right? Just because like we know what DJ provides to the Yankees lineup, and we know like how crucial he could be being thrown into the, I guess, middle to like bottom middle of that order. Just because, like I said, I don't think he's going to come back and be the leadoff guy. However, I do think that he could provide the Yankees with some depth as far as the lineup goes. And I'm viewing him as a guaranteed lock to be a starter in the playoffs. That's just me. I feel like I can't see a scenario where the Yankees leave him out of the starting lineup.
I think to
Simply
be the
because
playoffs, you're
he,
definitely right, but I could see it quickly if he like is looking bad in a way that you
yeah,
think an injury is
I was gonna
affecting
say
him bad. Then it could
it.
just be all right. He gets the ALDS and then like maybe a game or two in the ALCS if we get there, and then you kind of make a change.
Yeah, if he comes back and he looks absolutely lost at the plate, yeah, you probably make a change at that point. Because I don't view DJ as like a Stanton-like guy, right? Where it's like Stanton could look absolutely lost at the plate for like a week straight and then
The
flip a
presence
switch
is
and be the,
different.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
much different presence in the lineup. So a guy like Stanton, I'd leave in the lineup regardless. But DJ, like maybe you play around with it because I think also he wouldn't be affected mentally by that, you know?
Yeah. Also, I had no idea that toes were so important, and this isn't me throwing a slight at
Toes.
DJ, but like, yeah, he's got the toe inflammation. And that's really what, like I said, man, was one of the worst hitters in baseball in August, all because of a freaking toe. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it
Do
might
we
be
know
his
which
big
toe it
right toe.
was?
I think what comes to my head, guys, drop a comment if you know. I think it's his right big toe, like your thumb toe or whatever. So interesting, man. Who really knew?
How
I
does
must
that
be something to do.
happen?
I'm not sure how the injury itself happened. Maybe it was a foul ball off the foot. I don't remember, but I guess it has something to do with like your stride at the plate. I mean, it must be something, because DJ was having a damn good year up until that. I mean, was he an all-star? No, I don't think he was, but he had an
No,
OPS like over 800, was on pace for like a 5 to 6 WAR, I believe, playing good defense.
I do.
That's the thing, though. I mean, he really still has to play good defense.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't with the toe stuff, but that's kind of what it comes down to, just like is his if he just looks kind of like IL rust, that's fine because he'll find it eventually. But if it's an actually thing, like he's struggling because he's plagued by an injury, that's where I think we get to the conversation. Like, don't play him.
Dude, I'm excited about these Yankees. Like, I can't even lie to you. Like, I look at the lineup and I look at like Gleyber Torres red hot. I look at Stan doing his thing. I look at Judge at the top of the order. Harrison Bader, big presence in the
We got to
lineup.
give a shout out to Harrison
Bro.
Bader. It's crazy how he hasn't been a top yet. We'll talk about him next week once we get like a little more sample size on his Yankee career. He's been so awesome so
Like
far.
one of my favorite Yankees
No,
after
Pat,
a week.
no, I think number 2. I think he's my favorite Yankee behind. No, third. I'll say let me be reasonable. I think he's 4th. I think it goes Judge, obviously. Then I believe Stanton is 2. Cole's still my guy. He's number 3. And then I think Harrison Bader right now is
I'd probably go the same
favorite
order.
Yankee. I love Harrison Bader. Has been really impressed us every way possible. So obviously the speed is there. The defense is nuts. Whether you're talking that great play he made diving in center field the other day, and also just the way he sets up for the ball is awesome to watch. His arm has impressed me. I did not know his arm was that good. And the dude's been hitting the ball, had some big ass hits for us. And even when he doesn't get a hit, the other day he had that walk, a pinch hit walk, steals second base, bad throw, runs to third, and then books it home on Trevino's RBI single to give us that was the go-ahead run. Bro. He's been awesome so far. Also says all the right things in like the interviews, and you could tell he appreciates being a Yankee, which I love. So Harrison Bader, shout out to you, bro. We promise you'll get a full we did give him a topic the other day, but we'll give you another full
you should get a full episode, just to be honest. But listen, Dan, we're on to question number 5, topic number 5, the best part of the
what
entire
even is
episode.
Topic number 5? Are we going to talk about how this is my worst episode of all time? Or
no, because I don't think that it has been, because you have to
not
go
yours.
Every
You've been
episode.
carrying. You have been carrying. And yo, let me say, Pat, I wanted to say this at the beginning, but I was going to say it after the show. You carried today, bro. Who was Michael Jordan's teammate during that flu game? I guess Jordan was actually pretty good.
Scottie Pippen.
That's the whole point. I'm not too sure about basketball.
Dude, no. I don't view it as such. You know how I view it as? I view it as, Dan, you're battling today. That's all that matters.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm doing me. You're doing you, bro. It's a team collaborative effort. Let's go.
Yeah, dude, you're really picking me up. I don't know what topic number 5 is. Maybe it's just me bantering about how. Oh, you do?
No, I do.
Okay.
I have a topic number 5, and this is one that I'm super
that
passionate about.
I'm still drunk, to be honest, but what is it?
So listen, I'm sure you've kind of seen, right? This weekend, this movie coming out. It's a horror movie. It's called Smile, I think. This might be the greatest marketing campaign in the history of cinema, in the history of the world. I wish I was like a marketing major. I wish I was a marketing director or something, because this has been amazing. They sent people to a whole bunch of different baseball games, sat them behind home plate, and had them do creepy ass smiles into the camera. Genius, bro. I wouldn't have even known about this movie if it wasn't for like them doing this. And I like it. Are you not as blown away about this as I am? Because I think that it's amazing.
I think blown away is a stretch, but no, it's a good ass marketing campaign.
Innovative.
I couldn't agree. Now,
like,
I don't want to.
When have we ever seen something else like this?
Yeah, no, it's definitely cool. I thought at first they were filming for that movie, which does look pretty damn creepy, by the way. I will say, not to flex, I knew about the movie because I'm very well versed in my cinema, But yeah, I think it was pretty cool at first. I was like, yo, what the hell? Because he was at the Yankee. There was a couple. There was one at the Yankee game wearing that blue shirt, creepy ass looking dude. I think there was a girl, what was it, the Giants game or something like that.
A's game.
And like they really, I don't even know if they blinked. They were just straight up staring for a good, like, I feel like an hour or so, just staring, smiling at the camera. I'm not sure how that doesn't I would start getting fidgety if I was doing that. How can you just
dude, you're not a professional actor, bro.
Well, this isn't even matter. I mean, I get it. No, you're right. I understand. But still, is that even, how much of even acting is that rather than just being like a, I don't know, a mime or whatever that shit's called? Yeah, word. I don't know. But shout out to the movie Smile. Pat, maybe me and you should go see it together to
we should vlog
to
it.
Give them the respect they deserve. Yeah, word. We'll vlog ourselves going in, and then we'll record the whole movie and then put it on YouTube. And I just
one more thing I do want to touch on. I know how you mentioned last episode that, we were thinking about going to the game on Sunday. Bro, I texted you last night. I was like, yo, good thing we didn't. And shout out to anybody who did go to the game on Sunday, but I would have been miserable because the last game we went to, it was pouring rain too. So I feel like it would have been like a lose-lose, like part 2. Because, dude, I mean, first of all, Judge didn't hit the home run. There was like a 2-hour rain delay, pouring rain. Like, yo, whoever went to the game.
Dude, I was so out of touch last night. I mean, I was watching the game, but I didn't even realize Judge was on deck, I guess, when really, so that blows. That must, to be in the park, dude, I would have probably jumped in front of a train after if that happened to me, being totally, completely honest.
Well, on that note, Dan, I think it's gonna wrap things up for today's episode, unless you have anything else.
Good little episode. Once again, shout out to Patty, Positive Patty, for carrying today. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Sorry for my performance today, guys. But as Pat said, I guess I wasn't too bad. I don't really know. Appreciate you all. We don't really think I have any updates, to be honest, y'all. So I guess that'll do it. See you guys next time. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Let's go, Yankees.